Hi there, welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks since I did a video, and so I'm back today. And the game I'm going to cover, you can already see from the title of the video, is Sodov the Sorcerer, which was brought to us by Bug Byte in 1986. Another cheap and cheerful £3 budget special. I really used to like this game back in the 80s. It's a good, fun little game, and it's got quite a simple premise. It's not anything overly mentally taxing, unless you happen to be me. But it is nevertheless a fun little game. So how did it review? Well, Crash reviewed it in the April 1986 edition. It gave it 74%, so a fairly respectable score. Sinclair user in the May 1986 edition gave it a 5 out of 5, so they really liked it. And your Sinclair, also from May 86, gave it a 7 out of 10. Now, controls on this are QAOP, and any key on the bottom row for fire. Now, the premise of this game is you are Sodov, and you have to defend your castle. But you have to defend your castle from the attacking hordes of dragons, even though they look like T-Rexes. They're supposed to be dragons, apparently. And you've got to move along the battlements and ramparts, etc. Now, on the bottom there, you'll see you've got a little apprentice stirring a cauldron, and as many of the dragons get through to the castle, you'll see that little portcullis rise up. When it's completely open, that means you're vulnerable to invasion by the dragons. They'll come in and they'll steal your apprentice, and you have to whiz out into the yard, as it is doing here, and try and rescue him or her, or decide whether or not you're going to get the pieces of gold that are scattered around. Now, you see there's a little red spider that drops down every now and then. If he gets hold of you, will sap your energy. So what you have to do to avoid him is to hide in either side of those little tunnels in the turrets. Now, the control system in Sodov the Sorcerer is not particularly fantastic. I mean, I've been playing it for a couple of hours, and I remember having problems with it back in the day as well. QAOP and up, down, left, right, etc. Now, normally, without depressing the fire button, QAONP will control your up, down, left, and right, but only for the cursor. If you want to move Sodov yourself, you have to press the fire button, and sometimes that can be easy to forget to do, and you just find yourself losing a sort of couple of seconds here and there. Now, you'll see you've got power down the bottom, which every time you cast a spell to try and defeat a dragon, that will go down. In order to get that reinstated, what you need to do is you need to go into the turret and press up and go right onto the top, and that will refuel your power gauge. And as you can see, I've just done there. It's, despite being sort of not the best control method, it's actually a really fun little game, and I did used to enjoy it a lot back in the day, as I already said at the sort of start of the video. It's always been a good way to waste half an hour or an hour. As you eventually get to the end of each wave of attacking dinosaurs, dragons, sorry, they will change colour, and you will find that they get slightly faster and faster and faster, so thereby presenting a bit of a challenge for you. As you can see here, we're now on to blue dragons. You can see they're moving quicker than the green ones already. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot on Sodov on on YouTube. There's only a couple of videos that I can find, and one of them seems to be just the main title music, and it has got a decent enough little tune that plays over the opening title. Now, are you familiar with this game? Did you have it back in the day, or is this video the first time you've ever seen it? It's really, really nice, and if you want to, you go and check it out. But just remember what I said about the controls. They do take a little bit of getting used to, and they are a little bit unnecessarily fiddly. I'm sure there could have been a sort of another way to make the controls a little bit more easier to understand, a little bit more intuitive. But you know, it doesn't detract from the game sort of too much. Now, does it stand up as well as I remember it? Yes, it does. I used to, like I said, I used to enjoy playing Sodov the Sorcerer. It started its life, I do believe, according to Crash, on the Commodore 64 as a game called Gandalf, and Bug Byte sort of added the sort of little humorous title to the specky version, etc, etc, etc. I've never played the Commodore 64 version. I've not even had a look at it, so I can't say whether or not it's similar, identical, what the differences and similarities are between the two versions. But again, if any of you do know, I'd be grateful if you could point them out in the comment section down below. I've like I said, this has been the first video I've put out for a couple of weeks. There's been a reason for it. I haven't grown disenchanted with it or lost my mojo or anything. So I went back to work full time back 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden, all the time that I had on my hands to sort of like make videos has disappeared sort of quite quickly, to the point of non-existence. And what with other sort of things going on at home, things you have to do, etc., there just hasn't been the time. So I'm going to have to sort of revise the way that I go about this. What I might do, I've heard other people sort of do this, they record a ton of videos sort of one after the other, so that they can then sort of drip feed them out onto the YouTube channel, so that they don't have that pressure of always making a video if they think people are waiting for it. Shut up, dog! Excuse me there. That seems a far more sensible way of doing things to me now, rather than as I used to do, just sort of have to spend all day sort of like learning how to play a game, then make a video from it, etc. Right, gonna let the rest of Sodov the Sorcerer play out. I really like this game. It's a really fun little game, one that you should check out if you don't know. Stick with it. It's going to take you a bit of time to get used to that awkwardness of the controls, but stick with it. It is fun. It's not anything. It's not got any massive bells and whistles, but then the simple games never need those. Right. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please let me know. If you want to subscribe to the channel and join in some of the ZX Spectrum related fun, please do. It would be great to see you and interact with you, have conversation and chats. I do answer questions and comments as much as I can, as frequently as I can. So yeah, thanks ever so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. I hope the rest of your weekend is great, even though it's freezing cold where I am. Yeah, take care of yourselves. Goodbye.